The ladder of success is never crowded at the top. The world is full of noise, people shouting, rushing, competing for attention, chasing illusions of success that vanish the moment they're touched. But high above that noise, far beyond the crowded streets of mediocrity, stands a quiet place few ever reach. It's called the top, and it is never crowded. Because the climb is steep. Because the air is thin. Because few have the endurance to rise that high. Napoleon Hill once said, "The ladder of success is never crowded at the top." He didn't say this to glorify ambition, he said it to remind us that greatness demands separation. You cannot stay in the comfort of the crowd and expect to see the view reserved for the disciplined, the devoted, the daring few who keep climbing when everyone else stops. Look around. Most people live horizontally. They move side to side, following each other in endless circles of distraction and comfort. But the ones who rise, they move vertically. They don't compete with others, they compete with who they were yesterday. They are not driven by applause, but by alignment with a purpose that burns quietly within them. Every rung of that ladder asks for something in exchange. The first rung demands belief in yourself when the world calls you delusional. The second demands discipline, the courage to do what must be done even when you feel like doing nothing. The next demands sacrifice, the willingness to let go of what's easy for what's essential. And as you climb, each step asks for more honesty, more patience, more faith. That's why the ladder is never crowded. Because most people are not willing to pay that price. They want the summit without the silence, the rewards without the responsibility, the recognition without the refinement. But the truth is unchanging. Success filters out the uncommitted. If you want to climb, understand this, it will be lonely at times. The higher you go, the fewer hands will reach out to pull you forward. At the bottom, you'll have company, everyone talks, everyone dreams. But at the top, it's quiet. There are fewer voices, but stronger visions. Fewer smiles, but deeper purpose. And those who stand there did not arrive by luck, they were shaped by struggle. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before his light illuminated the world. Henry Ford went bankrupt 5 times before the Model T made him a legend. Walt Disney was fired for lacking imagination. But they kept climbing. While others rested, they refined their purpose. While others laughed, they learned. They all understood that the ladder of success is not climbed by leaps, but by steps, small, consistent, faithful steps upward. And here's the secret few will tell you. Every step you take upward changes you. You begin to see differently. What once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. What once required effort becomes instinct. You start realizing that success was never the top of the ladder, success was who you became while climbing it. Every rung carved your character. Every setback strengthened your soul. Every moment of doubt trained your faith. That's the hidden law Hill taught. That success is not a destination but a transformation. There will come a time when you look around and realize you've outgrown the noise. The gossip, the jealousy, the endless comparison, they no longer matter. You no longer chase validation because you have found purpose. You no longer need approval because you've met your own standards. That is the altitude few ever reach, self-mastery. But before you reach that height, you must pass through the storm. The climb is not glamorous. It's brutal. It strips you of weakness, exposes your fears, and tests your patience. It will show you who
you truly are. And yet, that's exactly why it's worth it. When you rise from the valley of doubt to the peak of purpose, you carry within you something the world cannot give, peace. The peace of knowing you've done the work. You've kept the faith. You've climbed despite the pain. And that peace is the quiet music of the mountaintop. The sound of the few who refuse to stop. The ladder of success is never crowded at the top, not because it's exclusive, but because so few finish the climb. And those who do, understand that the real reward was never the view, it was the becoming.